We did the top 10 best Premier League shirts, so it's only necessary that we now do the top 10 worst. Also, I did mention that I do a Premier League shirts tier list stream on the last video, and I'm planning to do that on August 9th. In terms of the specific time of day, more than likely it'll be like noon my time, which is Eastern Standard Time. But before we start and dive into the worst shirts of the Premier League season, this video was sponsored by OneFootball. As we know, the Premier League season is starting in pretty much less than a week. Here displayed on the screen are my predictions for match day 1. They'll probably all turn out wrong, but you have the chance to predict the outcomes and enter a giveaway where you could win a shirt of your choosing and FIFA 23. To enter this giveaway, all you have to do is click the link in the description, download OneFootball, enter your predictions, and hope the football gods are on your side. And so we begin with number 10, the Liverpool away shirt. The away shirt for Liverpool this season seems to be quite polarizing. Some people like it, others not so much. To me, it's quite like the Southampton away predicament, but for now, I'm not too fond of it. The shirt is fully consumed by a trippy marble swirl design that is finished with a touch of black on the logos and trim. The pattern is also very similar to Puma's 2019 designs. The close-up renders look kinda decent, but when it comes to seeing this shirt on the pitch, it doesn't look great. However, if it's one shirt that I think could grow on me, it's probably this one. Number 9. Manchester United away. When I saw that United were gonna have a yellow shirt, I was hoping that they'd throw it back all the way to basically their roots. Unfortunately, like me hoping for a girlfriend, it didn't come to pass. The shirt is basically your average highlighter with a subtle zigzag pattern. And also, there was no need to add that retro shield into the design. I mean, I really don't know why it's there. Just leave it on the home shirt, man. Number 8, Southampton home. Southampton have decided to go for some Ajax vibes for their new home shirts. The inspiration comes from older shirts from the 80s, but instead the colors were inverted. While the thought is great, the end product is quite underwhelming. If you look at the older designs and even the 1999 shirt, there's a lot more personality. Compared to the collar and trim, the modernized version is pretty soulless. There's also this subtle geometric pattern to add more modern touches, but it doesn't really fit the shirt and honestly comes off quite insulting. Number 7, Chelsea's home shirts. Since signing with Nike, Chelsea's shirts have been slowly improving. You started out with the terrible templates of 2017 and 2018, but then came the more clever and detailed designs of the last 3 seasons. And just when you thought things were going well, Nike released this
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
The 2022-23 Chelsea home shirt has a plain blue base with a very odd looking collar. Theoretically, the colors can work, it's just not really done right here, at all. The shirt also doesn't know what it wants to be, so you just have this incomplete wreck of a boring design trying to be overcomplicated. I tried to give it a chance, but even on the pitch it looks bad. Number 6, Fulham's away shirts. Before I mention anything about the Fulham away shirts, I have to at least give a shout to the home shirts, because it looks great. It would have definitely been a contender for top 10 best Premier League shirts had it been released just a bit sooner. Fulham's away shirt, however, is the complete opposite. It features a bright mint base with an interesting pattern of rectangles layering on top of each other. There's also these hints of what I like to call the Microsoft paint spray effect. The funny thing that comes from this shirt, however, is Fulham's claim that the pattern is a quote-unquote modern interpretation of Craven Cottage's brickwork. Which, first off, no. You know you up with a shirt when you have to justify it like you just minimalized your club badge. And secondly, if you're gonna lie, at least do a little bit of research.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Number 5, Chelsea's third shirt. Nike is doing a terrible job with Chelsea this season. This time they've gone for a khaki base with some black and orange trim. At first I was thinking this was a throwback to the Forbidden Chelsea shirt, but that one was gray. So there's really nothing to be said about this shirt other than why? It's a boring color with no additions to transform it, there's no culture to make said boring color more lively, simply it's Nike putting in absolutely no effort. But then again, if Nike's gonna be lazy with the home shirt, you can't really expect anything, can you? Number 4, Everton's away shirts. There's good ways to do a pink shirt, and in fact, Arsenal just did that. And then there's the Everton way. Much like their 4-0 loss to Minnesota, this is just ugly. There's a pattern that consists of dark blue diamonds that are apparently inspired by the roof of Prince Rupert's Tower, which is the centerpiece of Everton's badge. Only issue there is that's a cone. Inspiration aside, you always see at least a couple of these types of shirts in the Prem. The weird color plus unattractive pattern that pretty much no one ever asked for. I mean, DCL couldn't even save this garbage. Number 3, Wolves' third shirts. Salmon already, I'm not a big fan of. It reminds me of Simply Southern shirts.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Jokes aside, salmon can work as a base. The problem is, for some reason, no one knows how to use the color right. On top of that, the geometric pattern wolves are using here is really hideous. Now, this is just a leak, but as we all know, leaks get more and more accurate every single season. Number 2, Tottenham's away shirts. Now, last year I had the Spurs away shirt in my top 10 worst kits, but that one grew on me. In fact, I would say it's one of the best now, but I know for a fact this one is not going to. Apparently everyone wants to be bold this season, with Tottenham's away shirt having the slogan, "Dare to do bold."
You are so corny.
But this isn't bold. This is just Nike slapping a bunch of colors onto a shirt in a disorganized mess. And why is the sponsor so f***ing big? I swear it takes like 75% of the shirt. Considering this is one of Nike's new templates, I am terrified for what abominations may be released for the World Cup. People say this is the worst shirt of the new Premier League season, but I actually disagree, because at number 1, I have Tottenham's home shirt. I'm kidding. The real number 1 though, last but very much the least, Bournemouth's away shirts. Bournemouth went bold yet again with their away shirt design. The base of the shirt features the colors of a sunset on Bournemouth Beach. Then there's a palm tree pattern which is inspired by Bournemouth's seafront, which together with the color palette is a pretty cool idea. Only issue is the execution is terrible. I love the colors of a sunset on a beautiful painting, but not everything beautiful on a painting can just be slapped onto a shirt, especially when the design is abruptly stopped by these solid colored shoulders. It just looks like a shitty Hawaiian shirt half-assing an appeal to people still into vaporwave aesthetic in the year 2022. I am people, by the way. I guess one cool thing is you can create a beach collage with this and the sand-colored Chelsea third shirt, but aside from that, I look forward to making fun of this Old Navy ass shirt every time it hits the pitch. But those are my top 10 worst Premier League shirts. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. And speaking of that, I saw a lot of comments saying that Crystal Palace's shirt isn't all that. To each their own, you know. Of course, a massive shout out to all the patrons, including Janos Balas, Spirit WNT, Florian Lengel, Miliaway009, Alex Rod, Amin Suamez, Arnulfo Martinez Jr., Daniel Ortiz, Darkwolf476, Francisco Hernandez, Juan Leras, Kev FM, Mika Deichmeister, Nguyen Din Min Tang, Parafocus, Rory Byrne, The Motor Drive, Tomicus, Triple GK, Vanilla Mexican 17, Victor, Ariel Floor, Chris Damasceno, Declan Malloy, Emmett Shea, Lewis, Mohammed Albok-Hale, MX Weeb, Patrick Barley, President Pulisic, Tom Little, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you'd like, follow my Instagram if you want, follow my TikTok, trying to get to 15,000 there, and of course you can follow my semi-active Twitch, which, by the way, the tier list stream should be August 9th. Times will be updated on the community post, all that kind of stuff. But until then, I'll see you guys.